Trash Glamour. What's going on, vinyl community, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Realm. I'm Cosmic Brian, this is Cosmic Vinyl, where everything is apparently cosmic because I can't come up with anything else, right? But anyway, welcome, man. This is what I've been long awaiting to show you. The part 2 of the Punk Rock Extravaganza, if you will. If you haven't caught part 1, I highly recommend that you go check that video out too. We'll be like reviewing parts of that, but not too much anyway, but you gotta check that out, okay? This is part 2 and it's equally, if not more, extravagant than the first one. It seems like an odd word to describe punk rock, doesn't it? This is kind of punky, trashy, glammy, beachwood. I'll show that in another video, but let me turn this down a little bit and let's get this show on the road. Alright, so first, oh, wait, I almost skipped the old Chuggarooski, the big Chuggarooski. I'm working the Great White Jaws koozie here tonight. Love it. There's a freshie. Did you hear that freshie crack? Cracking a freshie. This is to all you cats out there. New subscribers, old subscribers. Man, if you're not a new subscriber, get with it, man. Get cosmic. Become enlightened with me. I'm becoming enlightened every day through watching your guys' videos. I do what I can. I try and do my part. Hit that subscribe button. Like me. Hate me. Whatever you want, but just hang out for a while, alright? Fly high with the Cosmic Brian. Anyway, this big chug's for you, vinyl community. Ready? Let's hoist it up!
Oh, yes, my good friend, of course.
That was an extra big... Whoa, cold. That was an extra big chug for you folks. All right, let's get on with it. First album. I didn't know shit about this band until I watched Ryan Kidd's videos, and that's the Spits. The Spits are freaking awesome. This was recorded in 2008 on, I believe it's called Thrift Store Records, and also released by Slovenly Recordings. This is like, I believe this is like a compilation of songs that were formerly released as like an EP single. It's called The Spits 19 Million AC EP CD LP. So I think all those releases combined onto this one vinyl record. But these guys, I believe, started in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Kalamazoo. That's just a fun word to say, right? Kalamazoo. Alright, I'm done with it. I'll let it go. But anyway, I think they relocated to Seattle. But these guys are loud, noisy, dirty punk rock for the people right here. Check out that cover art. It's just friggin' awesome. I guess this explains really what the music is about. You see a lot of sci-fi stuff. You see all these buxom beauties from like Bond films and sci-fi movies and stuff on the bottom here. You've got this crazy alien on the back. You got the Pope in a flying saucer craft. But yeah, this is kind of space-agey punk. And they have an interesting use of the synthesizer in their music too. But yeah, it's really lo-fi, low budget. Some of it seems a little underproduced, but gives it the charm that it's supposed to have. This is fantastic. Checked out some of these guys' live stuff, like video-wise, and sometimes it looks like they wear costumes and stuff. It's fantastic. Cool label here, the Thrift Store label. But yeah, this is a great record, just a cool punk rock record. The Spits. And then this, now, the only reason I actually bought this, it was in the punk rock section at one of our local record stores down here in the Big Lou. And this is the Skulls. And the album is called Black Light 13. Now, if you look at that, they don't look real punk. They look more like 80s glam. And there's a reason for that, because this is really not really that punk at all. In fact, I don't want you to confuse them with the Skulls from the 1970s LA seminal punk band, the Skulls, that came out around the same time as like the Screamers and those bands. This is something, these guys are actually a trio from New Jersey, and this came out in 1987 on Buy Our Records label. Nothing on the back there, but it's kind of still a fun album. It is like a glam metal kind of scene. Like I said, you can kind of tell that by, I don't know if you guys are getting a good look at that, but yeah, kind of glamish metal. There's some mellower tunes on here as well as some good rockers. I think if I don't decide to keep this, I think I have somebody in mind who I'd like to send it to in the vinyl community. But yeah, still a fun record, and it wasn't very expensive, but a little misleading to throw it into the punk section at the record store. But anyway, moving on to the next band. Now, I think I seen Dr. October, Mika, show this in one of his recent videos, and that's this album by the band 999. And this is called The Biggest Surprise in Sport. Oh, geez. Get a good look at the cover there. This was released in 1980 on Polydor Records. This is their third studio album. This is like English punk rock, kind of power poppy too, like power pop punk, I guess, for lack of a better term. But they're probably best known for this record right here that I've shown before, which is High Energy Plan. This is more punk than this. This is a little more poppy than the High Energy Plan. That's a white label promo, by the way. Which I think this one might be a white label promo too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it out of there. Hell yeah! White label promotional copy. But yeah, definitely a little more poppy than the High Energy Plan album. The single off of this one is, I believe, was Hollywood. But the cool song is called Boys in the Gang. That's a great song. Opening track on side 2. Really cool stuff. Cool looking dudes too. But yeah, 999. Got their name. I always thought that the 999 was like 666, but upside down. I was completely off base. 999 is actually the emergency number to call in the UK. You know, like 911. Only theirs is 999. Get a little trivia when you tune in. Yeah, you get a little tidbit of trivia when you tune into Cosmic Vinyl. But let's move on, because this is a few albums I want to show here. Now, last week I showed the first punk one. I showed this Undertones album, which I was looking for and just adore this with Teenage Kicks. But this is a different album. This is Hypnotized by the Undertones. This was released in 1980 on Sire Records. This is their follow-up album to the Undertones self-titled. This is fantastic. The lyrics still deal with teen angst and boisterous behavior and heartbreak, but the lyrical content and the songwriting is a bit more sophisticated than it was on the Undertones self-titled album. I always wondered about this cover, so I looked into it. The cover is the bassist and drummer of the band eating some lobster in the Bowery on their first tour of America. Look how young they look there. It's just crazy. But this is this is fun. This is poppy as well, but the great songs on this are more songs about chocolate and girls. And then there's a song on here called There Goes Norman. And I watched the video and listened to the lyrics. It sounds like it's about this creeper that, you know, all the parents in the neighborhood and the police or the parents in the neighborhood like warn the kids against this cat named Norman, right? That walks around in a trench coat and sunglasses and hat. And the cops are always after him. It's a crazy song, very Brit kind of punk. But yeah, the Undertones, Hypnotize, that's a friggin' great follow-up to their self-titled album. I love it. I love the Undertones, man. They're so good. Now we're moving into the heavy, heavy hitters right here. This is, and I didn't have any Dead Kennedys in my record collection. Not one. Not all. I'm a failure as a punk collector. In fact, you know, I didn't collect a lot of punk rock records. I mean, I had some, obviously, but like I said, I grew up in the Midwest in Iowa, and kind of sheltered from the cool stuff, you know, there. You know, while we were all listening to like REO and Journey and stuff like that, while my friends were, I was listening to stuff like Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult and you know, Pat Travers, you know, some still cool stuff, classic rock. But anyway, I didn't have any Dead Kennedys, so I picked up, this is what I bought on Record Store Day. I didn't buy any Record Store Day records, although I do have a couple coming in the mail, you know, kind of the residual thing. I'm getting way off track. Dead Kennedys, Frankenchrist. This is fantastic. This is their. This was released in 1985 on Alternative Tentacles Records. I believe this is their third studio album, and this is, you know, obviously you know the Dead Kennedys as being the hardcore punk band originally from San Francisco, California. Lead singer Jello Biafra, very outspoken, if you will. Got him into a little trouble, but I think he liked to stand up to the authority. He always battled against the PMRC and against censorship. Anyway, here, look at this hype sticker. Dead Kennedys' third album, still surviving the censors. Remastered from original studio tapes. I just love that cover with like the Shriners there. But as I opened this up, I seen this and I thought, oh man, I wonder if this is the Penis Landscape poster. And guess what? No, it's just this Frankenchrist picture here. With lyrical content and liner notes. No Penis Landscape here. If you're wondering about the Penis Landscape, Penis Landscape was a poster that was in the original release of the Dead Kennedys, that third record there. And I guess some higher ups, teenage daughter bought the album, pulled it out, and the picture actually, the Penis Landscape picture is just rows and rows and rows of penises being inserted into vaginas, and it looks like something the Dead Kennedys would do. I mean, they were known for their controversial cover art and, you know, political ideas, I guess, in their lyrics and stuff. So yeah, funny. I love Jello Biafra's vocal delivery. It's got that kind of that warbly kind of sound to it. It's just amazing. Great album, Frankenchrist. And then moving on to another killer record. This is Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, LAMF, live at the Village Gate, 1977. There's just some great, I mean, look at that. Jerry Nolan played on this. The band looks killer there. I mean, some would say this is probably the best live output the Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers had captured to wax. And it's funny because I read this thing from the producer that produced this reissue, and he said that the actual show was recorded onto a cassette tape and off of one channel on the soundboard and one room mic. So, I mean, some people complain about the sound quality on this record, but really they cleaned it up and did the best they could. But this is probably the best you're gonna get live for Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to know a lot about Johnny Thunders and his band, so I'm gonna refer you to Ryan Kidd, another VC member, the Stormtrooper of Punk, the Human B-side. I refer you to his video where he shows his full catalog of Johnny Thunders music, solo and Heartbreaker stuff. It is fantastic. So you got to check that out. I'm not gonna like sit here and try and be the expert on it. But this also guest stars Robert Gordon of Tough Darts and of his solo fame, singing on I think it's called Boppin' the Blues. And then also Sylvain from the New York Dolls also performs guitar on Boppin' the Blues. So little all-star jam there on that song. So check this out. Great album. Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. Breaks my heart to know that he's no longer with us, because he was he epitomized what rock and roll should be about. So let's move on to this. Now this is one that I was looking for so long, and I was tempted to pay up and purchase an original of this album, but I just could not afford that. But finally, a reissue of Dead Boys' Young, Loud, and Snotty, originally released in 1977 on Sire Records. This is a Jackpot Records reissue. Came out this year, and check it out. Came out on this yellow and red marble vinyl. Absolutely gorgeous vinyl. And of course, you guys all know the Dead Boys. They're originally from Cleveland, Ohio. They made the trek out to New York City at the recommendation, I believe, of Johnny Ramone and the Ramones. And they were a staple at the CBGB's nightclub. In fact, I think Hilly, even the owner of CBGB's and founder, even managed them for a while and banked that they were going to be his big money draw. Which, too bad, they were just too aggressive, too crazy, just not stable enough. But this is a classic punk rock album. My favorite song, one of my favorite punk rock songs of all time, Sonic Reducer, is on this album. Listen to these guys' names. I'm gonna need my glasses for this. My prison issue glasses, because I lost mine. But listen to these guys' names. Stiv Bators, of course, everybody knows Stivy. Cheetah Chrome on lead guitar, Jimmy Zero on rhythm guitar, Jeff Magnum on bass, and Johnny Blitz on drums. I just love that. I love punk rock bands that have like names like that. Now, of course, you know, Stivy went on to do solo stuff, and of course he went on to do form this somewhat of a super group, the Lords of the New Church. Great album there too. So yeah, that's my Punk Rock Extravaganza Part 2.
and I hope you guys dug it. I hope it wasn't as long as the first one. Let's hoist one last draw, one last toast to rock and roll, to aggressive, loud, not always the best music in the world, but it's the most that gets you right in here, you know what I'm saying? So hoist up a cold one for punk rock, and let's enjoy our music together. The vinyl community and cosmic vinyl. Love you guys. Have a big chug.
Oh yeah. All right, you guys. Try and stay cool, man. I know it's been hot everywhere, so stay cool and stay cosmic, my friends. See you next time.
It's cosmic vinyl.